When it comes to off-road caravans, I've always preferred that they be compact, single axle, relatively light, because that way it's so much easier to maneuver the caravan and access those tight, awesome free camps. So therefore, this High Country Extreme by Australis Caravans is already ticking a few boxes for me. Now this rig is only 15 foot 6 inches, so definitely compact, but it still has a lot of equipment on board, which just goes to show you don't need a 22 foot plus caravan to have that comfortable touring experience. So let's start on the outside of this little off-roader and then we'll step inside. The High Country Extreme has a 6-inch A-frame, it tapers back to 4 inches, and then you've got 4-inch main members on top of that. Now as for the suspension, they've opted for level 4 tough ride airbag suspension. And one of the benefits of airbag suspension is that you can level the caravan east to west when you're on an uneven site. And let's not forget, you can level the ride height of the caravan according to your needs. And then you've got this neat swift slide out kitchen out from under the awning. All you got to do is hook it up to the onboard gas supply, connect the water lines, and you're ready to go. Oh, and the external sink does have hot water. In fact, the hot water service on this caravan is an instant hot water service. Now you might be wondering about the framing material for this caravan. Well, here we have riveted aluminium, and that's been clad with composite aluminium and protective X-plate, which in my opinion looks so much better than your conventional black checker plate, and it's good quality material as well. Okay, and then moving to the front of the caravan, we have a really generous storage system on the A-frame, and that consists of some top storage here. We have a slide out tray on the near side to suit a portable fridge, while on the offside you have another slide out tray to suit a generator, or really whatever you want to put in there. We have a DO35 coupling, couple of 9 kilo gas cylinders protected by this mesh stone guard, and I always like to see the fresh water tap on the A-frame protected by a bit of checker plate, and that's what they've done here. Now this caravan really does do well when it comes to external storage. Look, we do have a tunnel boot, and obviously part of that is occupied on the near side by the slide out kitchen, but if we have a look here on the offside, we'll see a large L-shaped storage space, which will be fantastic for your cam chairs, maybe a little cam table, anything you want to put in there. And we'll also find here the EnerDrive inverter. It's a 2600 watt unit. And here we can also see that they've fitted the air compressor for the airbags. Now this is something that you don't see a lot of, floodlights all around the caravan. Often enough you'll find an off-road caravan with an LED bar at the front and the rear, but very rarely do you find them on the sides of the caravan like we do here with the High Country Extreme. And looking at the back of the caravan, I found the tank for the onboard diesel heater. It's nicely protected by checker plate. I can't see any way that would be damaged. Now, while your manual rollout awnings are fairly self-explanatory and easy to use, personally, I love an electric awning, and that's what they've fitted here to this van. We just push a button and out it comes. It's just so much easier. And the best bit is if the wind really starts to kick up, the awning will detect it and automatically retract, so you don't do any damage. Now with this caravan being only 15 foot 6 inches, you might think that the interior would be quite cramped, but not so. And the secret behind that is the east to west bed. That really does open up the layout to include things like this large L-shaped lounge. We've got a decent kitchen with some reasonable bench space, and you know what? A reasonably spacious ensuite. Look, it's not the biggest ensuite you're ever going to find in a caravan, but considering the overall size of this caravan, the fact that we've got one at all, to me, is a bit of a plus. They've even got some linen storage, a wall-mounted washing machine. The High Country Extreme uses a number of modern techniques when it comes to the overall structure of the caravan. I mentioned the riveted aluminium frame, but the floor is a honeycomb structure, while the roof is a one-piece composite fiberglass panel that goes from the very front to the very rear. As for the 12-volt system, it's made up of two 200 amp hour Duramax lithium batteries, 3 210 watt solar panels on the roof, and then you've got that 2600 watt inverter that I mentioned earlier. But this caravan also has a DC to DC charger, which should ensure that after a long day on the road, by the time you arrive at camp, those batteries are nice and full. Now any off-road caravan needs some decent water storage. Here we have 2 95 litre water tanks and 1 95 litre grey water tank, along with a fast fill connection. Now given this caravan has an onboard shower, not to mention an external shower as well, all that water storage is going to come in very useful. Some of the other features include a reversing camera, a Thetford 4-burner cooktop with griller. This really is a fully fitted out caravan. There's a 24-inch smart TV, and under the dinette seat where I'm sitting right now is a diesel heater, and the control controller sits right behind me. They've also included a stereo system with all your speakers, and there's also an ARL 12-volt pressure hatch. But how much does all this Caravan weigh? Well, at tear it comes in at 2,326 kilos, while the ATM is 3,000 kilos. That gives it a payload capacity of 674 kilograms. And with that 3,000 kilo ATM, this Caravan becomes a really good match for my Isuzu MUX. And on that note, no problems with the towing that I've experienced so far. In fact, this Caravan also comes with sway control, and that is just welcome peace of mind. But what else does this Caravan have? Well, we've got mud terrain tyres on 16-inch alloy rims, a couple of spare wheels on the back, we've got rock sliders. Inside we have a Sirocco fan, we've got USB charging points, we have a microwave recessed into the cabinetry, a large fridge freezer. At the end of the day, it's hard to see what this Caravan is missing, and that's all the more impressive considering it's only 15 foot 6 inches. Well, I've certainly enjoyed my time with the High Country Extreme by Australis Caravans. This is their dedicated off-roader. They do have a number of different caravans in the range from, you know, couples touring caravans to full family caravans with 2 or 3 bunks. But as I said, this is their dedicated off-road caravan, and it's also available in a number of different sizes and layouts. But for my money, I like my off-road caravans quite compact, so for me, this one is a bit of a winner.